Okay, we will continue then. So we were talking about the MOT concept, and I have even done three molecules. Hydrogen we have finished, helium molecule we have finished, and even lithium we have finished. Okay, so we'll go for the next one, that is carbon. Okay, we shall see how to write the MOT for carbon molecule. Okay, MOT molecular orbital diagram for this carbon molecule. Carbon atomic number, you are familiar. Carbon atomic number is 6. When you write electronic configuration, it will be 1s2, 2s2, and then 2p2. So this will be there for both the carbon atom. Okay. So now you can see here how many orbitals are there. You have one s orbital, then 2s orbital, and then we are having 2p orbital. So we need to draw three orbital energy diagram. Okay, so starting with the first one, first draw this level showing that the electrons in the orbitals are arranged in the increasing order of their energy. Okay, so here you will show the energy. This is also important to show the energy level. Then start with the first one, that is 1s. So I'm writing here atomic orbital of carbon. This is atomic orbital of carbon, and this side also atomic orbital of carbon, atomic orbital of carbon. In between you will have molecular orbital. Okay, in between there is molecular orbital of carbon. So start with 1s. 1s of one carbon atom and 1s of another carbon atom. Two atomic orbitals combined together to give you two molecular orbitals. So you are getting one over here. One is bonding molecular orbital and the other one is anti-bonding molecular orbital. So anti-bonding I'll draw up. Okay. So that is for 1s case. Okay. So 1s over here and then again 1s on this side. Okay. Name of this molecular orbital will be sigma. This would be named as sigma 1s, and the above one is sigma star. This is named as sigma star 1s. Okay. Then come to the next one, 2s. So above this we have 2s and then 2s. Two electrons in each, correct? No? And two orbitals combined together to give you two molecular orbitals. So I'll write one here bonding molecular orbital of 2s, and then another one is anti-bonding molecular orbital of 2s. Okay. So this will be the 2s one. Now next one is the 2p orbital, and you know p orbital has three division. Okay. So see how to draw for when you are coming for the p orbital. P orbital has three divisions, so I am writing three division over here, and then again three division on this side. Students, can you tell me now if these three orbitals of one atom of p orbital, I am talking about the p orbital, if p orbitals are going to overlap, three p orbitals are there, what are the type of bonding you'll be getting? Yes, very good. One sigma and then 2 pi, correct, no? You'll get 1 sigma and 2 pi. How is that? See here. See, we are having 3 p orbital. I'll draw and show you here. Okay. 1 p orbital I'm taking on one axis, one over here, and one on this side. Okay. So this is the p orbital of one carbon atom. Okay. This is of one carbon atom. This let me take for the second carbon atom. Okay. In this fashion. So here one p orbital over here, then another one, then the third one on this side. Okay. So I've drawn 3 p orbital. Let me label this. See, now I said there are 3 p orbital in the carbon atom. 2 carbon atom similar, no, they are same kind of atom, so the orbitals also will be similar. So let us label this let me take as z orbital. Okay, so I said you imagine that the one which is present on the axis, okay, in this way, which is going to overlap side by side, okay, head on overlapping, which is going to do head on overlapping, that you imagine as the z orbital. Just for our convenience we are taking this, but I said it can be any one of that, okay, but then this we will take as z orbital, this let it be x orbital, and this let it be y orbital. Okay, so if this way the orbitals are going to overlap in this fashion, okay, head on overlap when they are going to do. So when there is head on overlapping, you know that the bond which will be formed will be the sigma bond. Okay, so here the bond which is formed is the sigma bond, remaining is which is there perpendicular to the axis. So this x1 x, and then you are having y which is perpendicular to the axis. So when this x overlap, it will give rise to one pi bond, and then when this y overlap, even that will give rise to one of the pi bond. Okay, so you are getting one sigma bond and then two pi bond. So even here when you are drawing this, we have one px, this is py, and then pz. Okay, this side also we are having px, py, and then pz. So here one will be the sigma bond. Total we are having, see, total six atomic orbitals are going to combine. If 6 atomic orbitals combine, according to MOT, they will give you 6 molecular orbital. Okay, because 6 are there, altogether 6 are there, it will give you 6 molecular orbital. Now, which will be those orbital? In that, 3 will be the bonding molecular orbital and 3 will be the anti-bonding molecular orbital. So, out of that 3, 1 will be sigma. Okay, 1 will be sigma, then 2 will be the pi 1. Okay. So, now which one you think, according to you, should be having a lower energy, whether the sigma should have lower energy or pi should have the lower energy? Now when this bond formation takes place, okay, this orbital overlapping like this, sigma bond is formed and pi bond is formed. According to you, can you tell me which will be having a lower energy? Means the bond, when they are formed, they will give out lot of energy and then the bond will be stronger. Bonding is a stronger one, no, correct? So which one you expect to be the lower energy wise, like this? Okay, lower energy, which one we should put in the lower energy? Should we put the sigma one or should we put the pi one? Yeah, sigma 1 should come at the lower energy state because sigma is more stronger, no? More stronger means they have been formed with a lot of energy being given out, so they will be more stable. They should come at the lower energy state. Okay, so here remember that sigma should come in the lower energy state, but pi should come in the higher energy state. Okay, now one exceptional case, what happens is sigma is more stable, so that is the reason why it should come in the lower energy state. But when you are taking these small atoms, no, like for example, till the nitrogen atom, what has been observed is, okay, we were expecting sigma to come down. I said all these are experimental proof. Okay, whatever we are observing here and whatever we are explaining based on MOT, all these are experimental evidence. Okay, we were expecting sigma to come at the lower energy state. Okay, because they were expect to be more stable, but then compared to this, pi was coming down. Okay, why? The reason is because why the pi was coming down is because the difference between the energy, there are less number of electrons, so they have found that there is little mixing of the orbital taking place. Okay, so there is mixing and then pi will be written down. Remember, pi you are going to write down and sigma you will be writing up. But when you go for the higher atoms, like for example oxygen, where the number of electron increases after oxygen, fluorine and all, the number of electrons are quite high. So due to this high electron, repulsion will start taking place, and due to that repulsion, the sigma will shift down and the pi will go up. Okay. So till the nitrogen atom, you need to remember that the pi is written down and the sigma is written up. Till the nitrogen atom, okay. Till the nitrogen atom. The reason is it is because of the closer orbital. This S and P orbitals are quite closer, so there is kind of mixing. kind of mixing which is taking place, due to which this pi comes down and sigma goes up. But stability wise, sigma was found to be more stable than compared to pi. Okay, but after you go for oxygen, fluorine and all the other atoms, after that, since the electron density is quite high, there is repulsion and then sigma is sent down again and pi goes up. Okay, so this is based on that experiment part which has been observed. Okay, so that you need to keep in mind. So I'll draw here. When you're drawing, you will be drawing pi orbital down. Okay, because of the mixing this happens. So pi, see, I'm drawing 2 pi orbital in the bottom. The reason is because both of them are pi orbital, and since both are of similar kind, both will have same energy. Okay, so this we will take as pi 2p x and then pi 2p y. Okay, both of them are pi orbital, and since both are pi, similar characters, similar nature, so same energy they will be having. So that is the reason why we are putting the pi ones down, and then sigma one you will put up. Okay, so this above one will be the sigma orbital. So this will be sigma 2p z orbital. Similar thing you have to draw above also. Okay, above this you will be drawing the anti-bonding, because anti-bondings are similar one. The only thing is you will be putting a star. So above this I will draw the sigma star ones, pi star and sigma star. Okay. So here this will be pi star 2px, then pi star 2py. Above that you will have sigma star 2pz. Okay. So this is how you need to draw for carbon till nitrogen. You will be drawing the atomic orbital in this fashion. Okay. Now we will start filling the electrons in this orbital. See, 1s has 2 electrons. So 2 electron in 1s and 2 electrons over here. So altogether we are having 4 electrons. Fill that in the MOT orbital. Okay, molecular orbital of the carbon. So you'll get altogether 4. It's been filled. Okay. Next one, come to 2s. Okay, this is 2s, and here we are having 2s. Will give rise to sigma 2s, and then above 1s sigma star 2s. Okay, 2 electrons in 1 2s, and another one also will contain 2 electrons, altogether 4. So fill this 4 electrons in the molecular orbital. Okay, now next one is p. In that p, see how many electrons are there. There are only 2 electrons, and you know that according to Hund's rule, first they should be singly occupied. So put 1 electron each. One we will put in px, one we will put in the py. Here also same. Px will have 1 electron and py will have 1 electron. Okay, altogether there are 4 electrons. So that 4 electrons you have to fill. But how will you fill that? See, be very careful when you are filling. Now here 4 electrons are there. That's fine. It will be easier. Imagine if it was 2 electron, then you have to be very careful. Imagine that there was only 2 electron. Then how will you fill that orbital? See, 1 electron you should put in the pi 2px. 1 electron you will put in pi 2py. Okay. Then now here 4 are there. So one more electron will come here, one more electron will come this side. Okay, since both of them are having same energy and 2 orbitals are available, one will have 1 electron initially and the next one will have 1 more electron. Again, this is according to the Hund's rule. And I've told you MOT also should be filled according to the Hund's rule. So here pi 2p x will have 1 first, and then pi 2py 1 will have 1 first. And then once you have made them single, then you can start putting the paired electrons. Okay, if there are more electrons are available in that case. First you will make them to occupy singly, then you will start pairing them. Okay, so this is the MOT structure we are getting for the carbon molecule. Okay, now the next thing what we need to do is do the calculation. So let's calculate the bond order first. Bond order formula is half of number of bonding minus number of anti-bonding electrons. So bonding electrons you can count here. The below ones are bonding 1, 2, 3, 4 here. See here. This will be counted 1, 2. Then we have 3, 4. Then here 5, 6 and then 7, 8. Okay, so here bonding electrons are 8 minus anti-bonding you count. See this 2 and here you are having 2. So altogether you are having only 4. Okay, so 8 minus 4, 4 by 2, that will be 2. means what? Between the carbon and carbon atom, there is a double bond. Okay, so there is a double bond which is existing between the carbon and carbon atom. Okay, double bond exists between the carbon and carbon atom. Okay, next, can you tell me what will be the magnetic property for this? Magnetic property. Yes, good, correct. Diamagnetic in nature. Okay, so these are diamagnetic in nature. Okay, now see how to write the electronic configuration. Be very careful. How to write the electronic configuration. You will start from 1s. Okay, 1s is containing 2 electrons, so start from here. 1s, sigma 1s has 2 electrons, so I'll put sigma 1s and then 2 electron. After that you are having sigma star, so sigma star, then 1s will have 2 electron. Okay, then go to the next one, sigma 2s. Again, sigma 2s also has 2 electrons, so sigma 2s with 2 electron. Next is sigma star, so the sigma star with the 2 electrons each. Okay, then after that we are having pi 2 px and pi 2 py. See here, no, the order of distributing the electrons is in the increasing order. So that means sigma 1s is having lower energy, then sigma star little higher, then sigma 2s, okay, higher and higher, like that. Okay, so now after that you are having pi 2 px and pi 2 py, which is coming at the same level. So what you will do is you will write pi 2 px equal to pi 2 py. Okay, pi 2 py, both, because both of them are in the same energy level, so you'll put a equal to sign. Okay, otherwise usually what we used to do is sigma 1 s 2, then increasing order. Okay, this is the way we used to represent. Nowadays they are just, in your NCRT book they are just representing it like that. Okay, but it's supposed to be in the increasing order. But when it comes to pi 2px and pi 2py, since both of them are sharing the same energy level, you should put equal to sign. Okay, it won't be like just writing them in that fashion. That won't be a correct order. Okay, so then you put how many electrons they are having. This pi 2px is having 2 electrons, and this pi 2py is again having 2 electrons. Okay, so this will be the order. After that we don't have any electrons being filled in the orbital, so that will not be counted for electronic configuration. You can copy this down. Yes, let's go for next one, oxygen molecule. Oxygen molecule. You'll try doing by yourself. Check out whether it's matching with whatever I'm doing here. Okay. Oxygen atomic number, you all know. Oxygen atomic number is 8. So electronic configuration is 1s2, then we are having 2s2 and then 2p4. Okay, p orbitals are having 4 electron here. So draw the energy level first for oxygen atom. So we have energy level here on this side, and then start with writing the atomic orbital. Atomic orbital of oxygen on one side and then atomic orbital of oxygen on the other side, and then in the center we are having molecular orbital of oxygen. Okay, so it's molecular orbital of oxygen in the center. So atomic orbital 1s, and then here you are having 1s, which will combine together to give you sigma 1s and then sigma star 1s. Okay, so that is for 1s. Then you draw for the next one, that is 2s, giving you one bonding and the another one is anti-bonding. Okay, one bonding and another one anti-bonding, and then go for the P. Okay, P again we are having 3 division here. Okay, 3 division this side and then 3 division on the another side. So now for the oxygen, when you are writing, be careful. One change what you have to do here is you will write sigma down. Okay, so 1 I am putting down, sigma will come down and pi will be going up. I told you the reason also, that is because of the repulsion here, electron density is higher. Okay, so that is the reason why this sigma will be occupied in that lower energy state itself and pi will be put to the higher energy state. Their problem, what happened was there was a mixing happening, overlapping happening, and the number of electron density was also lower. That was the reason why that pi came down and sigma was shifted to the higher energy state. Okay, so only that was the reason. Then rest at the anti-bonding stage, it will remain the same because electron densities are only present in the higher electron density you have in the bonding. Okay, so anti-bonding stage you don't have to touch, you can draw it as it is, how we have done for the carbon. It will continue like that only for another elements also. Now label them. Okay, after you have finished doing the orbital, you can label them. This is 1s and here we are having 1s. And the center ones are the molecular orbital sigma 1s and then here it is sigma star 1s. Okay, sigma 1s and sigma star 1s. Then you can fill the electron. 2 electrons we are having in 1s, 2 again electrons in the 1s orbital. Altogether we are having 4. So 1, 2 and then 3, 4. Okay, now come to the next one, 2s. So this is 2s and then again 2s orbital will give rise to sigma 2s and then sigma star. We are having sigma star 2s. Okay, 2 electrons again each in 2s orbital. Okay, so altogether 4 are there. So fill the 4 electrons. Now come to this p orbital. Okay, 4 electrons are there in p. So let us label px and then py and then pz. These are the orbital. This side also we are having px, py and then pz. Okay, altogether 4. So 1, 2, 3 and then fourth one paired. Okay, so here again 1, 2, 3 and then fourth one you'll start pairing. So now altogether how many electrons are there? 8 electrons are there. Okay, so start filling this. You can label it first. This is sigma 2pz orbital with lower energy. Then we are having pi 2px, then pi 2py. Okay, above one is always the star ones, anti-bonding, pi star 2px and then pi star 2py. Above that you are having sigma star 2pz. Okay, so 8 electrons. Fill those 8 electrons according to the Hund's rule. You will start filling them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 are over. Now remaining is 2. So how will you fill them? 1, 1 each. Okay, 7 and then 8. So this is the way you are supposed to fill the electrons in the oxygen orbitals. Okay, so we are done with drawing the molecular orbital for oxygen. Now you write the necessary things what they will ask you. Okay, one is the bond order. You need to calculate the bond order. Can you tell me how much is the bond order you have got now here? See, one more easy thing is, the easiest thing what we can do is to calculate the bond order. Okay, if you make mistake, this and this will get cancelled, no, because number of bonding and anti-bonding is equal. So number of electrons in the bonding and anti-bonding is equal. So this will give you 0. This will give you 0. Now you check the last one because only the last one is involved in the bonding. Correct, no? These inner shells anyways, they don't participate in bonding. So with the MOT, we understand that these are over here, the bonding and the anti-bonding cancel each other and there is no bonding happening in the 1s. Okay. Now come to the last one. See here, the number of electrons in the bonding is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that side you are having 2. Okay. So it will be 6 minus 2. Correct, no? So that will be 4 divided by 2. So you can calculate in this fashion also. Or you calculate the whole number. Okay. You can do with the last orbital as well where you find the electron. Because anyways, this ones will get cancelled. Okay. So bond order is equal to half of number of electrons. You can count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Altogether 10 are there in the bonding. Anti-bonding you count. Here 2. This is 2. Okay. Star 1 so 2. And then here 2. Sigma 1s is having 2. Sigma 2s, sigma star 2s is having 2. Then you are having pi star 2px and pi star 2py. So altogether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then 6. Okay. So that will give you 2. Means what? Between oxygen and oxygen, we are having a double bond. Okay. Oxygen and oxygen, we have learned all this. In the Lewis structure also, he has given us. Okay. This structure we have already got based on that. But then MOT tells why these are paramagnetic also in nature. You can see here, the number of electrons over here, okay, in the pi star is singly occupied. Okay. They are not paired. So if they are singly occupied, the magnetic property will be paramagnetic. Magnetic property is paramagnetic in nature. Bond order is 2, which indicates there is a double bond. Now see how to fill the electrons in the molecular orbital when you are writing electronic configuration. Electronic configuration, you start from the below one, that is sigma. I'll write here, see, sigma 1s has 2 electrons, then sigma star 1s having 2 electron, then sigma 2s 2 electron, sigma star 2s 2 electron, then you are having sigma 2pz 2 in that, then we are having pi, so pi 2px 2 equal to pi 2py having 2. Okay, then after that I'm writing it down because no place over there. Then after that, you see students, we are having pi star. Okay, after that it is pi star 2px. How many electrons will you write here? It will be 1. Okay, see careful, it is 1 here, equal to pi star 2py having 1 electron again. Okay, so this will be the electronic configuration, and it makes us more clear that why when the I have shown you that video also, when you pour this liquid oxygen into the poles of the magnet, you see that they get attracted by the poles of the magnet. That attraction was because of the unpaired electron which is present in the oxygen molecule. So that it makes it more clear when you are explaining it with the MOT. Yes, if it is present in the antibonding also, it will be paramagnetic. On the whole, you should get unpaired electrons present in the molecular orbital, whether it is bonding or it can be in the antibonding. If you get unpaired electrons present, that means it is paramagnetic in nature.